Oh, we almost matchy.
I was just gonna say that. Oh my god!
Wow, we could be like one almost.
Opsy twins. Yes. Hi. So I'm Donna,
And I'm Nadine.
and this is Teach People How to Treat You.
Welcome.
Welcome. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. If you get a chance, please subscribe. And we have lots of other videos you can check out. And
Many.
many. So
We have a Facebook page too.
yes, we
Teach
do.
People How to Treat You.
Yeah.
We've got some great followers and feedback on there, so
Right.
it's good.
And Twitter. And so today, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah, our last video, we've taken a bit of a different tone
Mm-hmm.
in expressing our outrage and some of the things that are going on in our country.
Yes.
And it really does tie into our theme of teaching people how to treat you.
Absolutely.
So
yes.
the last one was about, the termination of a Canadian icon's employment. And we ended the note with that our society is becoming very soft
Mhm.
in the management of treatment of others. People have, people still have bad tempers, have bad days, have different ways of dealing with anger, frustration, jealousy, negative energy overall.
Mhm.
And then there's a lot of people that are victimized by that.
Yeah.
So we left it on a note of, we've become so soft because there's no consequences to severe action. And personally, I believe that that's one of the reasons why we have so much trouble managing bullying, and it's escalating in our Canadian schools.
Yeah, it's getting out of control.
It is. I
Absolutely,
mean,
yeah.
when you're terrified to drop your kid off at school because you don't know if he or she is going to make it through the day without a black eye or a stolen lunch or worse,
Yeah.
it's a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah.
So I recently posted a video on my Facebook,
Yeah.
on Facebook, that was released by CBC. A kid in Canada by the name of Jaden Trudell,
Mhm.
who was so badly, a grade 9 student, who was so badly beat up in the parking lot of his school that it ended up with him, suffering a fractured skull, a brain bleed,
Yeah. Hearing loss.
Yeah. Horrific injuries. Like, we're not talking about bullying,
Like just a few name
Like a
calls.
few name calls
And not
or-
that that's okay, but we're just saying that this is
it's
severe.
escalating. It's
severe.
escalating.
It's
When we
severe.
were
It's out of
going to
control.
school, the bullying was somebody stole your lunch, or even pulled your hair, or wrote a note about
Yeah.
something about you and passed it off to their buddies, or they would push you in the schoolyard, or
Yeah. And not that
whatever.
any of that's okay, but we're just saying that it's gone.
None of it is out of control.
Out of control.
Where kids are being so badly beaten
criminal.
that it's
Yeah.
criminal. And this particular incident was, the grandfather was a retired police officer, I believe, and said that they were actually treating the whole thing as a murder scene because this kid could have died.
Yeah, they didn't know whether he was alive or dead.
Well,
at
Jesus,
the
the
time,
kid's
yeah.
brain is
They
bleeding.
smashed his head into
They
the-
picked him up
into
and
the
smashed him.
pavement.
And I'm picking on this because it's not picking. We're zeroing in on this but there have been other incidences
Yeah.
in surrounding areas where
yeah.
children have actually been so severely beaten or worse. And I'm enraged with what's happening in our society, that we are not taking enough measures. We're literally passing the problem on to the other. So again, I go back to this case of this Jaden Trudell kid, because all the school did was expel the kids
Yeah.
that
There should have been
literally
charges.
changed this kid's life.
Yeah. Yes.
He says in an interview that he was more worried about the kids at his school than his grades.
Yeah. How sad is that? And how sad is it that I feel that so much power has been actually taken away from principals and teachers, because they're almost not allowed to discipline. Like, think about when we went to school. People, when we got the strap, we got the strap. If we did anything,
the ruler on the knuckles.
The ruler on the knuckles, yeah. But I mean, I remember people, like, if you did anything, Out of line, you go down to the principal's office, they pull up the strap, and I'm not saying that
was a bit extreme.
It is extreme, but it's gone so much the other way. The pendulum has swung so much the other way.
And we're terrified of doing anything.
Yeah, like
and that's empowering.
It's empowering
bullies.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because there's no consequences.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's no punishment.
No.
So they're saying, well, I hate this kid, so I'm going to smash his head into the ground.
Yeah.
And then nothing's going to happen.
No. Because the teacher, the principal, they're afraid to do anything because they might lose their jobs because the parents will complain. Yeah. And it's just out of control. I mean, it makes me worry about parents who think it's okay for their kids to bully other kids. But the fact that these teachers and principals and like leaders and they are afraid to do anything in the community. They're afraid because they might offend somebody. It's not about offense anymore. It's about taking charge and just not allowing this kind of behavior. Period.
There's got to be consequences, and I don't know what that looks like because I'm not a believer in physically hitting kids or anything like that. I do think that there's got to be more stringent consequences when we are endorsing a society that there's no repercussions.
None. No.
And I'm going to get expelled. So big deal. You use somebody else's address. Hey, yay! I've been expelled. I don't have to go to school.
Yeah, and then you go to another school. So it becomes somebody else's
problem. We're passing the problem on.
Yeah, but it's not being dealt with. And so we don't know what the answer is. No. But clearly there needs to be a different solution for sure. And I was going to say something else about all this. If I can just. Hang on, it may come to me. In the meantime, do you have anything to say right now? And then maybe it'll come to me. I don't have a solution right now. Yeah.
And I think that as a parent, I think we just need to rally together and put our heads together and come up with something that will, speak volumes to the authorities. And I don't necessarily mean law enforcement authorities. I mean, like even in the scholastic system, where people are not terrified to deal with these severe issues, because if there's no repercussions, these boundaries are going to continue to get pushed and things are going to get
really out of control. I think that's what I was about to say, is that because these students are not afraid of what the repercussions will be because they feel that they have the power. So, I mean, back in our day, if you didn't get the grades, you failed. So you did not go to the next grade, right? Remember that? You didn't get you didn't get the marks. So we were all motivated to pass so that we could go into the next grade and not be held back, so to speak. Well, that's gone, right? That doesn't happen anymore. No matter what, the kids are going to go to the next grade, whether or not they can read and write or whatever, and they're not keeping up. So that's not an issue anymore. Or just like if there's competitions, right? Everybody gets a medal. Everybody wins. Like in our day, first, second, third, that was it. So we all strive to try to do that. And we learned what it was like to be disappointed or to lose. How about that?
I think not win. It helped us. But it just drives you to work harder and do more. And maybe that sounds old school, but it worked.
And you get it like that. Like life isn't always fair, right? And you learn to you learn to accept that and realize it, and as you said, and to work hard. So back to this whole thing, if kids are not afraid of what's going to happen to them, if they do something horrific or even just a little bit of bullying, I think they'll just keep pushing it. And that's what they're doing. And I think we need to give back some of the power to the schools and to the leaders and all that. And I think that's what's lacking. And maybe, in the case of bullying, maybe it's something like you could be held back a grade or something that is, I don't want to say devastating, but something that is severe enough that these kids are going to fear. Whatever that is, or whether it means they go to juvie or wherever they go, they have to go to some sort of rehab or some sort of facility, that I don't know, military school. I don't know what the answer is, but there has to be something so that kids do not get away with bullying anymore.
No, it's horrific what's happening. And I got to tell you, as a mother myself, I'm grateful that my kids are in university. Yeah. We hear these stories all the time, and I swear it's heartbreaking. And our empathy and love and support go out to all of you parents who are dealing with a situation where your child is being bullied, and there's a fear of leaving them at school because you don't know what's going to happen throughout that day. So we're really wanting to advocate for this. And we're hoping that this video reaches enough of you that you come back with comments or an indication of some sort of a support, thoughts of what it could look like differently to make a safer place for our kids. Absolutely. Because this is enraging. A video like what we saw on this kid, there's been other more tragic stories in recent times. And our hearts bleed for those families. So we want to do something. And it ties in with what we've been sending all along about our messaging. This can't continue to happen. And we're angry and we want to do something. So please, if you haven't commented before, by all means, let us know what you think, any ideas of what we could bring forward. To the powers that be.
Absolutely, yes.
We want this world to be a safe place for our kids. They're our future.
Yes, no, absolutely. And this whole thing, it just was reminding me about this video where they mentioned about the privacy, right? Like people were inquiring about it, but different things were not, different information was not coming forward because of the Privacy Act. I get that, but I almost feel like they've taken privacy and protection to a whole other level. It's like everybody's protected. And it's nice to be protected, but I feel that we're protecting the bullies as well.
Well, of course,
the problem.
We're deflecting, and we're hiding behind that privacy thing.
Exactly. Yeah,
and it's escalating because I got to tell you, when I was going to school, even when my kids were going to school, and our kids are not that old, they're they're late in their teens or early in their 20s. We were not hearing stories about like this kind of bullying to this level. And I'm concerned about the future generations. I'm concerned about future grandchildren.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So help us.
Yes,
please
do.
We're posting this because we need your help. We don't know what the answer is. We believe adamantly that things need to change.
Exactly. So send us your comments. Help us, and let's make changes.
Okay.
All for the positive and all for the good. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, we'll see you next time.
You bet. Thanks.
Bye for now. Bye.